G'day guys, I'm Jotrain and welcome back to another Scrum Mechanic video where I'll be showcasing my Queensland Rail Beyer Garratt vanilla piston powered articulated steam locomotive, which I've started working on the 5th of January this year. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. Alright, so here we are in the world and here's the locomotive question. So this is a 482 plus 284 Beyer Garratt type steam locomotive. It's quite a long locomotive, it's 27 meters long. So after I've made the other Queensland Rail steam locomotives, I decided to make one of the bigger locomotives. So we have this one here, where you can get in the cab here. And as you can see, it doesn't look like your conventional steam locomotive, because what's special about this type is that it's articulated in 3 parts. So you have the boiler, which is in between the 2 driving wheels. It has the same amount of power output as 2 locomotives, but it's in one. So you have the boiler, which is situated in between these 2 bunkers. You have one for you can put the water tank and the coal in the back there. And then this makes it so it's able to swivel around or negotiate around those really tight corners. And also let's go in the controls as well. So just like all my other locomotives are made, so we have 1 to go forwards and then we can press 2 if we want to go in reverse. And of course you can't go instantly in reverse, you have to wait for it to slow down and then it goes in reverse. Just give it thrust assist, which is button 3, and we just want to go in this direction. Then we have 4 for the lights. Then we have the whistle effect, and we also have some smoke effects as well. You can see coming out of the funnel there. And you can watch the other videos I made showcasing the other steam trains on how I was able to do that. So this is also probably my best running steam locomotive as well. Like, even without the thrust assist, it goes quite fast. And we can test it going around these corners here. So you can see it articulates around there, and then we go around these like really tight corners around here as well. And I'm not using any thrust assist, but it's ever so slowly managing to get around the corner. So yeah, and this locomotive actually can hold quite a lot as well, even in Scrum Mechanic. Anyways, I'll head back to the starting area here, and I've put some wagons there so we can try holding some wagons around with this as well. Yep. It doesn't seem... I'm having issues with it on the low physicality, so I'm on simple 4, and for the valve gear, the pistons seem to be glitching, so I'm not sure what's happening there. I didn't think I had those problems last time. That's just one thing to keep in mind when you're using this. We have some wagons here where we can just connect this up. Yeah, that went on the track perfectly, and it was... And my game stopped responding, that's a great sign. Alright, so here I've connected up some wagons here, and we have lost a few frames, so I hope that's not too bad. I'll show the cab details as well, that's probably something as well. So I loosely based it off of the actual cab details, because there was some video. I did look at a couple videos for references. This is as close as I was able to replicate it to how it is in real life. And we have the whistle as well, and this is, if we hit the whistle, it actually goes down as well, like if you were pulling it. And let's start the engine here, and we can press 1 to go forwards, and we just give it some thrust assist to start going. So even if we I didn't set the points correctly, okay, that's a problem. We might want to fix that. Alright, and I'll just put this back on the track. Alright, so press 1 to go, and then we have 4, and the whistle as well. And then we have occasional smoke effects, but it doesn't seem to be coming out the funnel though. So even let's actually, if we turn off the thrust assist, this train is able to hold quite a lot. Well, at least for Scrum Mechanic that is, so carrying these 4 wagons here. And another thing, I should have mentioned this at the start of the video, another thing to note about these trains, of the Queensland Rail Beyer Garratts, is they were used due to an increase of freight traffic in Queensland. So these locomotives, they were employed on single lines, which were built with light rail and often included many wooden trestle bridges. And because there was insufficient funds to replace the 56 kilometers or 35 miles of bridges, they would use these locomotives as a solution, as they could pull the same of two conventional engines. Apparently it's two trains. Instead of having one of these locomotives able to hold the amount of two trains with two engines with two crews as well with the same axle load, so that greatly increased the capacity of the lines. The thing with the articulated trains is that these were able to negotiate around curves and like lighter rail, which might restrict like larger rigid frame locomotives, which were seen as a good compromise against using rigid body locomotives. See these, and they were quite popular around the world as well. So not just in Australia, they exported a lot of places around the world. Like I know in India they had the Beyer Garratt steam locomotives. And here we are around this corner here, and wheels. I think it's just because the low physicality, its wheels don't seem to be working very well. The one in the front isn't moving, and the one in the back is let's just put this back on the track. This is very unfortunate that with built-in train scrap mechanic is that it's really cool that you can build something like this, but it often doesn't work very well. And you're often limited to how long you can make trains in this game because of like all the lag with all the bearings. So it's at least they did add the low physicality option, so that way you were able to make it so that the game doesn't have to process the physics as much. But it also means you do get like those issues with like the pistons and that they don't really work through. Well, I don't know why, but when I first started using this locomotive, I haven't seen that happening as much, but it just seems to happen more when you I think maybe if you have a bigger load it happens. So here we go now. So it's getting around this corner here, barely. Maybe I think it might be just be a problem with these really tight corners that the train's articulated, so it should be able to get around it. So I don't know, at least there's thrust assist on this, so you can always just force it to go around the corner. It's not really giving it very much, showcasing it in its glory, but on the straightaway sections and these like wider curves, it should level out. Is it gonna fix this? And it's broken. You know, this is supposed to be, we're supposed to be showcasing how good the locomotive is, not how glitchy it is. I just blame scrap mechanic because this game's so bad. In testing, well, when I initially tested this didn't happen. I don't know why it's happening now that I'm recording. Anyways, we can get back in the locomotive and we'll just drive it around back to the start. We'll just drive it around a bit and then head back to the start. So yeah, once it was working, it's quite a good locomotive, like it. It runs quite well. I've put a lot of details in it as well with this design. We've got the water tanks in the back and the coal bunker, water tanks on the front as well. So yeah, it's quite an unusual locomotive, this one, but I managed to get something to work in scrap mechanic like it. A very unconventional locomotive. Yeah. And yeah, also there's all the rolling stock. I'll put a link to if you want to subscribe to the rolling stock I made as well. So yeah, it's on these straightaways, it just seems to be fun. And we're going at quite a decent speed as well. And we're heading approaching a level crossing here. So yeah, it's quite a far, when it's not glitching out, when it's not glitching out, I'd say this is probably my best running locomotive. Because it does handle very well for quite a large locomotive of its size as well. And they're going around bend here. It's quite a... There we go. Oh, so it got around that one. All right. So it can manage to go around those really tight bends. Just apparently not the whole loop. It doesn't really like going around the whole loop. Like there's really that type loop there. And going across the crossing. Do the horn as well. Yeah, this one doesn't really have a nickname though. Like all the other Queensland Rail locomotives, they all have their own nicknames, like Betty and Blue Baby, but this one doesn't have a nickname. It's just Beyer Garratt. I mean, it's pretty much the only Beyer Garratt class or type of steam locomotive Queensland Rail ever got. Because 30 of these locomotives were built in 1950s. So yeah, it's one of the last locomotives to be built in Australia, or Queensland, maybe Australia as well. Yeah, quite a modern type of locomotive. And you're just going to go around the track here. Yeah, I should have gone around like this before. This handles a lot better going around these wide corners here. It's like going the lake in the back there. Yeah, we can see on the thrusters and the in here, and then in the inside there's some logic that's for the spoke effects, and then we have the tote box and the smoke box underneath as well. That's like another thing with not the smoke box, firebox. Another benefit with these locomotives that you can extend the firebox down below the foot plate, which another benefit, so that you can generate more heat. Yeah, because there isn't any wheels that are in the way, so you're able to do that. Let's go around this corner here. See how it handles around this corner. There we go. Got around that one. I just watch the rest of the wagon spin around. See this. We go up the hill here. And yeah, that's it's not really designed for going up hills, so you can see it only articulates when going side to side. It doesn't articulate going up and down, because you know that the parts are in the way. Well, realistically, a train probably wouldn't go up and down a slope as steep as this one in real life. But that's just like something that wasn't planned for, and I don't know how I would probably get it to articulate that way anyways. But I mean, still manages to get it up and down the bridge there. And I'll put what I'll do, I'll put shaders to make it. Well, by shaders, I'll just edit the footage to make it look more interesting as well, as opposed to just like the regular scrap mechanic look. So just make it look more interesting going around the scenery here. And then here we have like this big long. I wanted to have a big long stretch, so that's why I made this track here. See, you can get some speed if you have a fast train, but this is like, I mean, it's a decently fast train. I'm pretty sure. Well, in real life these are like limited to 35 miles per hour, which is. Is 56 miles. Is it 30? Hang on, let me look. Let me see here. Top speed. I'm pretty sure it's 30. Well, that would be 56 kilometers an hour or something. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going over this crossing here. There's no boom gates over here. This one. Alrighty, so I should have hooked the whistle. And I'll show the different types of articulated locomotives on the screen here. So yeah. Alright, so here we go around the final bend, and then we'll be back at the start. So the train isn't really made for going around these like really tight bends, but it is managing to get around just about. And crossing here. And the crossing pushing out of it. And I'll just stop the train here. Swap out the seats. Alright, the doors are opening, so I had to use the seat to get out. anyways, that's so yeah, that's enough. I'll do like a quick showcase on the other. I've also built some other trains as well. Like I built some diesel shunters here. I mean, I won't drive them around the map or anything, but just do a quick showcase of the other trains we worked on, and I'm on 20 frames a second so far. So we have this this is a diesel hydraulic locomotive, and which goes top speed of 50 kilometers an hour. There's cab details in there. And we can press 1 to start the engine, and then this is a high and low gear on this. And I've also have this shunter as well. It's this small shunter, which you would have, if you've seen the Choo Choo Charles video I did with Jack, you would have seen this, because this is the shunter that Jack showcased, even though that wasn't planned, but he just decided to showcase it regardless. Which is interesting. So yeah, that's all the trains I've been working on so far in Scrum Mechanic, and I'll put a link to the description if you want to download this, all the trains here. And if you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe to do, and if you join the Discord server as well, you have a community of like train fans and people, so it's pretty cool. And yeah, anyways, be sure to join the journey with Jotrain.